Hey everybody, my name is Scott Steehn. I am the lead handicapper over at winnersandwhiners.com. Winnersandwhiners.com is the premier site in the world for predictive sports analysis on each and every contest going on in America every single day. If you haven't checked it out, please do yourself a favor and get over there and get over there and noodle around at winnersandwhiners.com. We've got deep dives into every game, every sport, so whether it's NBA, NFL, college basketball, whatever your game is, whatever you're looking at to make a play on, make sure you check out winnersandwhiners.com, as well as our sister sites, statsalt.com, which is just a different set of handicappers doing the same games. So you basically get two views on each and every game at those two websites. So check them out. You will not be disappointed. And of course, if you'd like more of my plays, I do have a premium service available. I put the link in the description for this video. Simply click on that and get yourself signed up. We'd love to have you on the premium team. All right. So without further ado, let's take a look at the battle here on Thursday night between the Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears. This one coming from Soldier Field. The Bears 3-point home dogs up there in the Windy City. So here's the narrative we've heard all week from everybody, all right? The Cowboys stink against good teams, and they can only beat up on the dregs. Now, unlike a lot of the babble that we hear on sports talk radio and read on gambling Twitter, well, this particular nugget is, it's just about true. And I say just about because while they are indeed 0-5 against teams with winning records, they're just 6-1 against the losing squad. So while losing against good teams is just about a lock, they are not guaranteed to beat the bad team. Looking at you, New York Jets, as the Jets came in there and spanked them for their first win of the season. Just shocked the world there in the Jerry world a few weeks back. So let's take a little deeper look and see what the difference is when they play good teams and see if we can figure out what the problem is. Now, first of all, we'll take a look at the Dallas defense. Very, very good unit. They give up 322.2 yards per game against bad teams, including 20.4 points per game. But against the losing teams, not much different. They give up 324.6 yards per game and 22.6 points per game. So not much of a difference at all of the yards, about a 10% difference as far as the points go. But when you look at the Dallas offense against losing teams versus winning teams, something kind of stark jumps out at you. First of all, against the losing teams, this Dallas offense, which is number one in the NFL in yards per game, by the way, they put up 454 yards per game against the losers, and they score 32.6 points per game. Now, against the 5 winning teams that they've played, well, it's gone a little differently as they've put up just 368.6 yards per game and 16.4 points per game. So that is almost 50% less points. It's about 49.7% points, 49.7% less. If you're a stickler for statistics and numbers the way that I am. Now, are they being shut down by vastly superior defensive units what the winning teams have? Yes and no, not necessarily. A lot of this damage has been self-inflicted. They have turned the ball over 10 times against the 5 winning teams. That's 2 turnovers per game. Against the losing squads, well, in those 7 games, they have turned the ball over just 5 times. It works out to about 0.71 turnovers per game. So the other part of the turnover equation, as you know, is the giveaway takeaway. It's the takeaways, and they just don't turn over the good teams. They've registered 12 takeaways on the year, but they've taken the ball away just 1 time against those 5 winning teams, including none in their last 4 games against teams with records over 500. Now, you'd think if you lose the turnover battle 10-1 over a 5-game stretch, you're probably going to be in trouble. And you would be absolutely right. Bad things indeed have happened as they've gone 0-5 in that stretch. Now, we've figured out that trend. Now we get a Bears team that's 6-6. Great. They're neither a winning team nor a losing team. So there goes that trend. But the Bears, you probably know about their defense a little bit. They have kept them in long shot contention for a wild card spot. Basically, the playoffs for the Bears began last week against Detroit when they found themselves in a 5-6 hole. Figure they need to win out to go 10-6 to have even a remote chance at a wild card spot there in the North. I think the North is pretty much already going to be locked up between the Packers and the Vikings. Those guys show no sign of slowing down, although the Vikings did lose the other night. The Packers are still stretching out their lead. The rush defense for Chicago, it's been a little bit worse since Akeem Hicks went out in week 6. But here's the good news. He's practiced this week, and it's possible that they may be getting him back for the first time since mid-October. And that would be a huge boost for this Bears defense, especially on the rush side. But either way, whether Hicks plays or not, look for them to present a pretty stiff challenge to this Dallas offense that, as we discussed earlier, tends to make mistakes against good defensive units. On the offensive side of the ball for the Bears, Mitchell Trubisky has looked, dare I say it, he's looked good the last 2 weeks, okay? Now, the Cowboys defense is definitely going to be a step up in class from the Lions and the Giants, who his opponents have been the last couple of weeks. But Matt Nagy, the coach of the Bears, has kind of recommitted to the run over the last month. Now, the Bears still aren't very good at running the ball, but that hasn't stopped Nagy from doing it. In fact, they average just 3.4 yards per carry. That is 30th in the NFL. On the other side of the ball, of course, the Zeke and the Cowboys, they are a good running team. They average 4.6 yards per carry. That is 7th. So both of these teams, well, they're going to run the ball, but only one of them is going to be any good at it. It's a lot like me in golf. Just because I go out there and shoot a $115, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to play all 18 holes. And that's the same thing with the Bears. They're going to keep plugging away because it is imperative for Mitchell Trubisky that the Dallas defensive unit at least respect the possibility of them running the football. And they've run the ball in the mid-20s the last month of the season, somewhere around 23, 24 attempts. And we look for that to be the case again tonight. Now, in the end, I think this is going to be another sloggy game on national TV. Dallas offense struggles against good teams, and the Bears offense struggles against everyone. The difference in this one, surprisingly, is going to be Mitch Trubisky. Over the last couple of weeks, he has discovered that he has another receiver that isn't Allen Robinson. Now, he had an up-and-comer in Taylor Gabriel, and Gabriel had been getting involved in the passing game, doing great things, but he's been out with a concussion, and it looks like he's still in concussion protocol. He will not make the start. He will not make this one. He will be inactive, most likely, as all signs seem to point to that right now. He hasn't practiced all week and has been in concussion protocol. However, they have a young fellow by the name of Anthony Miller, and Anthony Miller has been pretty good the last couple of weeks. In fact, last week he caught 9 balls out of 12 targets for 140 yards. The week before that, he hauled in 6 passes and 9 targets for 77. So I think the Bears, they do just enough to move the chains on a few drives. I think their defense stepped up and does what it's done all season long. They stop the other team, and they keep the Bears' faint playoff hopes alive. Give me the home team in the division, in the conference, a game that is much more important for the Bears. Dallas still has a lead there against Philadelphia in the East in a division that nobody wants to win. The Bears absolutely have to have this one. They're going to be fired up. It's going to be chilly. It's going to be in the high 30s, low 40s game time. And I think the Bears are going to be ready to rock and roll. Give me the hometown squad plus the 3 points. All right? So, get yourself down on the Chicago Bears. Take those 3 points. You want to take a little sprinkle on the money line? I don't think that's a bad play either. Anytime that spread is anywhere from 0 to 3 points, playing the money line is always a solid strategy. So, that being said, you guys can join me. We'll pick up our winning tickets on those Bears, and we will head back to the window. All right, everybody. Thanks very much for watching. Good luck on all of your plays, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.